Dracarys!
Dracarys.
Yes! Yes! The goosebumps! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Cam. This is Zay, and today we are watching Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 4, and now his watch is ended. I'm super excited to get into this one, but before we do, I just want to let you guys know that we have a 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year goal, so please help us reach that and hit that subscribe button if you're not already. If you enjoy what you're watching, it would be greatly appreciated and will help us to that goal. If you want to support us in another way, you can also leave that hit that like button down below if you enjoy what you're watching. It would also be greatly appreciated. Comment down below your favorite moment from this episode, or if you just want to comment something else, go ahead and comment something else. With that being said, Isaiah, what do you remember from the previous episode?
All right, so Theon ended up actually escaping his captors. He almost got assaulted, SA'd by the people that were hunting him, but he ended up getting saved by the mystery man that was hired by his sister. Stannis basically found out he doesn't have, his flames are too low and he's not able to make another coochie monster. So the Red Woman's hunting down somebody that apparently shares his blood to make it with them, possibly.
And you haven't been able to think of anybody.
No, I've just been blanked. John is now getting sent out with about 20 of the are they wildlings, right? They're wildlings, right? Yeah, 20 of the wildlings to the wall to scale it, apparently, which I can only imagine how that's gonna go. Where was Arya?
Arya was still with Thoros. And
yeah, but where was she headed? Where was she? Because they left the Baker boy.
Yeah, the Baker boy said he was gonna stay. I think that they're going to try to bring her back to Rob. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember what they said. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it might have been that. But I'm not positive. But also we had Dany, who is going to try to make a deal. She wants to give him one of her biggest dragon for 8,000 unsullied soldiers.
Crazy, kind of a crazy trade, but kind of makes sense. Rob got into it with one of his
uncle.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's his uncle, right? Yeah. So Rob got into one with his uncle, kind of asserting his dominance in the position as like a leader. And Jaime lost his hand.
Yes, that was pretty crazy.
I mean, I don't even have to say much more about that. He lost his hand.
I think probably the highlight of the episode, more important than Jaime losing his hand and everything else we mentioned, is Podrick was a man, apparently.
Podrick was slaying. Podrick was laying the wood. He was getting it down.
Oh, we don't know what he did, but we know that
he did something so good that they didn't even want the money.
Well, we'll have to see what happens now. Imagine what?
He just read them like a story. Like, didn't even
all right, let's get into it.
Oh, they brought it with them at least.
Yeah, they definitely brought it with him.
It's a memento.
He's going to fall. He's going to fall off his horse. Someone help him.
He's down atrocious right now.
Yeah.
Can't say that I've ever seen a man drink horse piss that fast.
Damn!
She's beating the shit out of them with nothing but...
Damn!
I mean, they're abusing the shit out of him, though. Like, I don't blame him.
The hand that's cut off is like, no, I'm good.
Please, no, please.
It's beautiful.
Oh, this motherfucker's gonna get himself killed.
It's beautiful.
He's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I don't want your stupid thimble. I want to save my baby's life. Can you do that? Can you?
No. You can't.
He doesn't have much time.
What are you thinking, Sam? What are you thinking?
He's thinking he's going to try to save it. Oh, perfect. Your legs work again.
You have to go after him.
How? Brandon?
Oh. How the hell did you get up here?
Promise me. No more climbing. Promise me.
She's going to throw you off.
Promise me.
Smack her. Smack her.
Promise me.
He got crippled in his dream.
Did you say smack her?
Yeah, get him. Yeah, yes. Desperate times call for desperate measures. They're all yelling to Marjorie.
Well, remember, she was helpful for the helpful
Right.
to the poor.
You're supposed to cup your hand.
She's
aren't
making
you?
him look good.
Are you supposed to cup your hand? And
I let Dagmar slit their throats. And I let him burn the bodies.
The two boys that they pretended were Brandon and Rickon.
And I chose wrong.
Good on him. At least he's
I burned everything down.
kind of realizing it.
right.
Kara.
I brought him back. He killed the others.
What? No, I didn't. You can't.
Shit.
Put him back where he belongs.
Damn.
From down bad to down worse. That's crazy.
Dude, poor Theon.
You wanted to speak to me.
Yes, about Jamie.
He looks like a Sith Lord. Always. Swear to God. It's the first thing I've ever thought of.
Marjorie has her claws in Joffrey. She knows how to manipulate him.
Good. I wish you knew how to manipulate. I distrust you because you're not as smart as you think you are.
Damn.
You allowed that boy to ride roughshod over you and everyone
That's
else.
the second person to say that. Tyrion said this as well.
I didn't mean to disturb you.
You haven't.
But you did. No.
We'd like some privacy, please, if you wouldn't mind waiting back inside the keep.
Mid prayer. I didn't mean to disturb you. Then wait till I'm done. Like,
Must see High Garden. You'd love it there, I know you would.
I don't think the Queen would let me leave King's Landing.
The Queen Regent, you mean? Once I marry Joffrey, I'll be Queen. And if you were to marry Loras... Oh.
He likes that thought.
Interesting.
Would you like that?
A lot of manipulation going on. I don't know what her end game is, but clear manipulation is occurring. It seems. You know, speaking a lot of sweet nothings into her ear.
The sawdust in the bread. You don't like it. You go out there and eat the snow.
Here's my thing. Here's what I'm curious. Where is he getting men? Because every boy that's born, he kills.
You've got hidden
And he's
away.
him.
I told you.
The dude that bangs his daughters like they're freaking. Where does he get his men? That he's like, he talks real confident for someone that probably like.
All these people are not his men. These are
My
Mormont's
point being, it's like you start talking shit. Where are your men to defend you? Is my
I see
point.
what you're saying. Oh shit.
For this. I shall have your head.
Oh damn. Uh-oh. Looks like there's some controversy among the Night's Watch.
I have mixed feelings about that death.
You've seen better days, and I won't see them again. Stop, deserters.
Are we supposed to know him? Or is that like a first time?
First time.
Okay.
What are you doing? Leading a mob of peasants?
Ned Stark ordered me to execute your brother in King Robert's name.
Well, maybe we did see him when Ned Stark
I don't
asked
remember
for the mountain to be killed.
Yeah, I just don't remember seeing a dude with just that eye patch thing. I feel like we would have remembered that.
We might not have had an eye patch at the time. Comment down below if we did see him for a brief moment before or now. But
maybe we saw a representative as well instead. Very
Right.
well, I don't know.
But we're seeing him now.
I've been reborn in the light of the one true God.
I don't like all this light talk.
I get it. Oh,
He's so big, man. If he spits black fire, I'd be so pissed.
well, we saw him with the fish, and he didn't spit black fire.
But I wonder if it's maybe a maturity thing. Like, here's the thing, we don't know. I don't know. So maybe it's a maturity thing. Maybe. All they said was that there's one that does spit black fire, and the leader, you know, Aegon.
They didn't say one of hers do.
No,
They
no, I
just said-
know. I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm making the assumptions off of the 3 that were prior. Now you have 3
done
eggs.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
The leader.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this in a previous episode. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Dracarys, say it.
The dragon's
Say
like,
it.
Mama, no.
Say Dracarys. Oh, I fucking cry.
Oh, that sound is brutal.
I thought she was gonna say it. I was,
Dude. She just spoke their language.
all right. But she was letting him translate this whole time. which means that
Yeah.
she knows.
She knew.
Zaldrizes buzdaris cosdaur. Nigay Daenerys gel masmo hentar Geriol entrot. En Valeria wepoana garexan.
Oh, shit.
El munyo engos nuhis isa.
Oh,
You
shit.
fucked up. Say
Axios entas, mentios entas. Dolvios enetas, inini odrigatas, urnei luei dolide prijatas.
Ho, 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 ho.
Dracarys.
Dracarys.
Yes. Yes.
The goosebumps. Oh my gosh. Oh. Dude, I'm just the sound. That like deep, like, oh. What a big brain move.
So I wasn't completely off. I said it was a test of loyalty. The dragon didn't show loyalty. It showed loyalty to Dany, basically. However, I didn't.
She held the whip. She held the one thing that the army has to listen to.
But I forgot, or I didn't know that she spoke Valyrian, I should say. So
No, you didn't.
So when she said it, I was like, and guys, I know I said I forgot. I promise you've never seen the show. But when she started speaking, you alluded me to like, oh wait, yeah, she's speaking their language right now. I'm like, I thought like maybe they told her what to say. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Holy shit. She now has an army.
I'm sorry. Queso tubi. Syria trikilsa.
He's like, y'all can peace if you don't want to do this.
All right. Huge move. She just took over a fucking whole spot. Technically, with that,
Look
with
at
like
this.
minimal bloodshed.
She set them free. She doesn't need the whip.
She doesn't need
They're
to whip.
still
Yeah, why?
following her.
Yeah. But what did I also mentioned this. I said, man, like when people are under like a dictatorship type rule, and when you have a leader that's a little bit more lenient and is like willing to, you know, I know, it's like that changes the dynamic. Oh man, wait till they're a little bit. I know they gotta grow. They have to grow bigger. Holy shit. Come on, man. Was that not a badass ending to that shit? Come on now.
That was Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 4. Before we get into Q&A, Zay, what are your initial thoughts?
Look, man, I know most of y'all watching this are like, they already seen it. I'm not gonna say I told y'all so, but I was like, listen, at the end of the day, humans are humans, man. I was like, they got to leave a dictator type leadership. They had someone basically free them, and they're just like, you know what? This is a better life in their to me. That to them it was, or in my opinion, they're probably viewing it like, we can escape that. Like I'm assuming their way of life there was miserable to some extent, right? Like he was super strict and everything. You're getting your balls chopped off from the start. You have to kill a baby. She even made a gamble and said, if you want to leave, you can leave.
And I promise no one will harm you.
No one will harm you. Which is also like almost like a psychology type move where it's like, you're basically telling them, even if you didn't mean it, it's like you're basically saying like, you got it. It's an out. And it's like someone might think like, damn, if they're this lenient, then it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I might be better off with someone like this.
But it's like, if they stay, they're not staying because I own them.
Yeah,
they're
staying because you want to
they
serve me and help me.
We'll talk more about this. We'll talk more about this in the post-episode commentary, which we're going to get into right now. But before we do, leave a like down below if you liked what you were watching. Subscribe to stay tuned for more and help us reach that 1,000 subscribers goal by the end of the year if you're not already subscribed. If you want to watch our full-length reaction to this, you can check it out on Patreon, as well as our full-length reaction to the next 3 episodes. Yeah, let's get straight into the Q&A. We'll start kind of like near the beginning. We see Jaime being treated a lot like shit, and it's not going good for him.
And it's almost like a it was kind of satisfying in a way, as messed up as it sounds, because it's like you have the Lannisters who, like, they've been the richest. Now they had a Lannister that's a Baratheon, a Lannister that's the king, and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like they always would use it, like he would always use it to his advantage. My father, I'm the greatest swordsman. I'm this. It's like, okay, but what happens when you run into people that don't care about that? When they say, that doesn't matter to me out here at all. So
also, he hasn't had it very good even before this. He was a prisoner for Catelyn. I mean, like, really, ever since he's been taken, he hasn't had the best of life.
I feel like it's kind of going to be a cool character development where it's making him kind of like appreciate, like if he gets freedom, it'll make him appreciate that freedom more, because now he'll understand what it's like to be on the losing side. He's kind of on the winning side.
We are seeing arguably, you could say maybe it's compassion,
alliance,
maybe it's strategy
between him and Brienne.
But he's definitely, thinking of Brienne, at least in a way that will prevent her from being raped and things like that.
And Brienne even stepped in to try to help when he was, at that one point when they're in the mud and he's like trying to fight those 5 guys. Is it compassion? Is it strategy? One thing you can't argue is that, she seems genuine. She seems like, she's but Jaime, we know Jaime. So it's like, is he really strategizing? I mean, I don't know right now, but it's definitely cool. It's showing, also kind of showing maybe a moral compass that differentiates from his sister, where she seems a lot like she's just focused on her kids and she's very cold-hearted. She'll kill anybody just to protect her kid, like type thing. Tywin's very cold-hearted. Tyrion seems cold-hearted, but like he also like obviously has a compassionate side between the girl and like he kind of takes care of his people. And now Jaime, who seemed super cold-hearted, now also seems like he has a softer side. But is it strategy? I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. What do you think about, I mean, we learned more about the eunuch and kind of his backstory and how he kind of rose to power, and that he's keeping the guy who cut him in a box. And he also warned Olenna about Peter Baelish and how he's a very, very dangerous man. He would, like you said, it was a dope line. He would see the world burn
he
to
would
be
see the
king of the
world burn to be
ashes.
king of ashes. And to me, my thing in this show is that when somebody starts spouting off about how somebody else is dangerous and they're the problem and they're this, it always makes it to me, I mean, I'm like, okay, but what are you doing? Because you clearly, here's the thing, he has clear gripes in general. Like, I get, like, yeah, he has the dude that did that to him captive, but like, he did a lot to get to the position that he was in. He'll be damned if it gets taken away from him, in my opinion. So for that, it's like, yeah, he's spitting that Baelish is the problem or Baelish is more dangerous, but it's like that a lot of that could be a red herring to protect yourself. Like, no, worry about him. He's the problem. I got my revenge. I got this guy. I got my revenge. I'm fine. It's like,
He does make a good point about Peter, though. If he takes Sansa away and marries her, then something happens to
it
Robb. Now
does
he's pretty much in charge of the North. I mean, she
no,
would be the next person they look at. And
but there really hasn't been any characters in the show from recent remembrance that would make a claim that somebody's dangerous without having some sort of idea, evidence, or plot that could occur that backs it up. They don't just say like he's dangerous, right? Because that's not going to get you anywhere. I could say you're dangerous, and someone would be like, okay, but why? Like, he's dangerous. He's just dangerous. It's like it doesn't hold weight. You need to have, and you know what? Thinking about that, it's like, is that a strategic move? Because if we stop Sansa from leaving with Baelish, and we know Baelish's plan is even to marry Sansa, but that's a good idea. When he said it, I was like, that wouldn't be a
pretty
idea.
convincing.
Yeah.
But next on the list, we have Joffrey and Marjorie being looked at in a very, very positive light by the people of King's Landing. How do you feel about that?
It started off with cheers for Marjorie, and it became King Joffrey, and I think that him being with her and how she is handling being chance of being queen is allowing them to be like, oh, maybe like Joffrey's chance. I don't know. It seems like her influence on them is also influencing their opinions of Joffrey, because I imagine they don't want to picture Joffrey or her being like a bad person from the way she's talking to those. She was at an orphanage, right? A few episodes ago. She's like at an orphanage.
She was in like an area of the poor, pretty much.
So when you see someone that nice with somebody, you're like, maybe we were wrong about him. Maybe he was just having bad moments, possibly. I don't know. It was clear though that they supported Marjorie. Then they saw Joffrey, like, oh, Joffrey. Like the chants were for her originally. They started from her. It would have been a different, in my opinion, if they opened those doors and everyone was saying Joffrey. I'd be like, oh, he won them back, but how? So that's my opinion on it, but we'll see, I guess, with that as well.
See. We have Marjorie talking to Sansa about wedding her to Sir Loras, her brother, and she'll be a part of Highgarden. So, and she seemed really happy about that. So let me ask you real quick, what are your thoughts on that? But more specifically, if Peter came to her and said, I can get you out of here right now, and if Marjorie came to her and said, I can get you married to Sir Loras right now, what direction do you think she takes? If that were to happen, theoretically.
Thing is that to me, Marjorie, I feel like she'd pick Marjorie because, just off the bat, it's girl and girl. Like, basically, they've been chatting. Now they're getting kind of close, like relatively close. Even though her and Baelish talk and stuff, that connection doesn't feel as deep as compared to her and Marjorie. Her and Marjorie feel like two friends, two like actually close friends, chit-chatting, they're talking, they're sharing. Like Baelish, it's like, yeah, he's talking, but it never feels, when I'm watching it with him, it never feels like super genuine and that like he actually cares. I'm more watching it like, okay, what is he trying to get to? Like, what's the end result?
But you also did say in this episode, you did say that you think Marjorie is manipulating Sansa.
I do
as well.
And that doesn't change. I still do think that she is. However, I think she's in a better position to manipulate because, one, as far as other people know, Baelish betrayed Ned. So it's like, off the rip, you already have this person on a lower pedestal compared to this girl who, yes, you know, you might have your gripes at first, like, holy shit, Joffrey picked her over me to marry. That's going to cause a problem. But it's like, yeah, but now she's coming to you. She's talking to you. Her mother's talking to you. It's like, okay, it's like now maybe she's not that bad. Or, you know, maybe it's just, she just got picked. And
No, yeah, I get it.
End of the day, Sansa's still a young girl. So I imagine she's going to be a little bit naive. And I think that, you know, with Sansa being here and not having her mother, who's probably far more experienced, versus Marjorie, who has her mother, who seems to be well-witted from her talks with the eunuch and everything, you're battling two people technically versus your one that are going to do what they can to manipulate you and get them in a position of power. So,
all right. Yeah. Well, okay. Interesting prediction. We'll have to see if that comes to light. Next up, we have Theon was helped by this mysterious guy only to be put back into the torture chamber by said mysterious guy. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think is up with that? What do you think's up with this mysterious guy?
If he actually was hired by his sister to free him, I'm not surprised because she clearly does not like Theon. Like, in my opinion, like she clearly through a lot of their interactions thinks that she's well above Theon. What's the power move, or what's like the play with having him captive?
Do you think she would do that to Theon?
Yeah, I don't think that she gives a shit. And that's the thing, is that those people from those island, the Ironblood or Ironborn, they are they're cold-hearted. Like, listen, regardless of what some other people are, like, they don't care. Like, they're just like, it's out for them, and if it's gonna suit them, then it suits them. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, their motto is "We do not sow," meaning we take.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if she did it. But like I said, what is the play? I don't know. Get favor of Rob by giving Theon to Rob or something, but you took him away from him originally. So it's like, I don't know what the play is. You have him now. What are you gonna do? You're gonna torture him for what? Like, I'm curious as to what information or what she's trying to gather from him. It was still suspect. He leads him through an underground tunnel and says that some of her guardsmen or whatever can't be trusted. I was like, right there, I was like, well, if he really wanted to, like, that doesn't make any sense to me, because they seem to serve if they're gonna serve. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would you need to hide him? It just once they went to that underground tunnel part, that's why at first I was like, why they don't have the horses? And then he's like, we can't trust. I think he's something about like we can't trust all the guards or something. I was like, that seems
remember when he bring him back, he said, "I brought him back. He's, he tried to escape." Blah da da da.
He killed them all. He said, "Yeah, I brought him back. He killed them all." It's like, dude, when that torch lit up and that X was there again, I know he was.
Could you imagine being Theon? Like, could you like getting psychological torture right there?
Imagine being strung up through something, you get escaped just to come back to the same thing there. It's like a nightmare.
Who are you going to trust? The next person that tries to get you out? Like, would you go, like, say that happened to you and then another person comes and says, "I'm going to get you out of here." Are you going to fucking follow them that time?
This is going to create a major distrust between him and his sister too. It's like, man, he said he was supposed to be working for you, and if he never proves that he wasn't working for his sister, he's going to have any sort of recourse, being like, I want nothing to do with you.
Now, Craster's not around anymore. He's dead. The captain's not around anymore. He's dead. And Sam and Gilly are off with the boy.
Do we see? Yeah, I know they ran away. I was like, damn, do we get to see Sam step up and try to be a leader? I mean, like, that's just chaos. And that chaos play, I feel like, is going to play into, with the wildlings approaching the wall. You have the wildlings that are a threat now, the White Walkers that are a threat, and the people that are supposed to be guarding it are at war with like another clan that's like within the. It's not good. Period. Like, I can't really make a prediction off of what happened off of that, because I hope Sam escapes. I feel like he's gonna run into White Walkers or something. Right? I think it was White Walkers that were taking the babies, if I'm not mistaken, or we assumed that they were, or something. Something was taking the babies away.
He was giving.
We just don't know. We don't know technically what it was, because it didn't really show.
I know
Like,
what it was. I just don't remember for sure if they mentioned it. So
that's
I'm
and
stuck to
so
say.
okay, so we don't know what it is, but we know that they're handing off babies. You have a lot of discourse that's going on between that faction and the people that are supposed to be guarding said wall. Just because the wall is just because it's a wall doesn't mean it's impenetrable. And if White Walkers figure out a way past it, you're in
That's a
you're in a lot of
problem.
trouble because you're supposed to be the ones guarding it, and now you don't even have your first line of defense guarding it. That's like, it's a clear walkthrough possibly right now. So,
Well, I mean, that's pretty much why Mance said, "Go to the wall, go climb it, get
and
over there."
at the other thing too is that this could cause a separation between factions of the Night's Watch, men that think that they should be leaders or that they think that they're like, you could see this split off into groups of like, kind of like how the Dothraki split after Khal died. Like, you have a leader that dies, that can cause a split easily. So
Yeah.
now you got split forces. It could be, it's a whole mess, man. It's a whole mess.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that too. The next up on the list is we meet Beric Dondarrion down as part of the Brotherhood Without Banners. So basically people without a sigil, a flag, things
They
like
don't
that.
they don't abide by any of the lords, or I'm assuming, right? Like they don't follow any of the lords specifically or anything like that.
He worships the Lord of Light, which
No, but what I mean is when I say lords, I'm more talking like kings, noblemen, like
right. They're kind
star
of like
houses.
rogues.
So they're rogue. And again, a mention of the Lord of Light.
Yeah, and now he wants to judge the Hound with trial by combat, because the Hound, even though he admitted, they want to judge to see if he's worthy of, or if he's like innocent or guilty under the Lord of Light's view with a trial by combat.
Right.
So we'll have to see how that goes. What are your thoughts on that? Before we get into it, do you think this might be the end of the Hound? Do you think that it's not going to be? I will mention this right before you answer. The Hound has a terrifying fear of fire, and the Lord of Light has been pretty centralized around fire.
So that's my only concern for him and his safety is that, man, like, you're going to be going against your true fear, which is fire.
Well, we don't know. We don't know
if he's going against it, but we know that the Lord itself is centralized, like you said, around fire. It's like, man.
Well, you're being judged by somebody who uses fire. A Lord that
you're being judged by somebody that is your worst fear. That's like me going against a Lord of Spiders. I'd be like, well, I probably should just give up because I'm not going to win.
Do you think the Lord of Light is a valid God in this world, or do you think he's just made up? Do you think?
I think it's a valid God. I just don't know. I'm still trying to like piece it together. I keep trying to pick up the information when they drop it, but they're only dropping little nuggets at a time, so it's hard for me to try to get a full idea surrounded by it.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. But next up, last but not least, speaking of fire, we have Dany doing this crazy move. She said Dracarys, and you hear, and then the dragon just burns the dude. I gotta just, before you get into this, and I'll let you have your monologue, because I'm sure you've got a lot to say. I just have to say there is something so chilling about that soundtrack, that score that they play behind it. That's so badass, where it's like, where she's like, she says Dracarys, and you just hear this I don't know, like
this like guttural, like, and then
and then fire comes out. I just think it's so cool. But awesome move from Dany. Isaiah, what are your thoughts on that whole?
The coldest part of that whole sequence was her starting to speak their language, and and here's what was wild is that homie was so enveloped with the dragon trying to get it to be tame, he wasn't even paying attention to the fact that she's speaking your language. Like, bro, that should have spat out you. Like, wait, what?
Her translator caught it immediately. Her translator was like,
immediately, and which means that every shit talking thing you had been saying, she's heard. You saying that you'd give her this because you like the curve of her ass. She's just gonna show her tits. Like, bro, like, yeah. And so I don't blame her for having no mercy. I mean, bro, like I would have been like, yeah, like, oh yeah, keep talking. And the whole time in her head, now it's like she's sitting there like, yeah, keep talking. No, yeah. What else do you like about me? Oh, what do you think? Oh yeah, okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, let's make this trade. And like I said last episode, I was like, man, it wasn't the exact battle of loyalty that I was expecting, but in a sense, it was kind of similar where, they folded. The Unsullied folded. They basically said, the Dragon Purely One was not getting settled down by him. Whereas the Unsullied were like, she will let us be free. She's even offering us a chance to leave. I'll serve her before I serve this asshole, because they could have easily not listened if they were really that loyal. When she said,
well, the way it works is they're trained to listen to the person holding the whip. And she told him that they were free after that man already was burnt to a crisp.
true.
But it was a matter of
once you're free and she's not holding the whip, you're still free. I mean, even if you wanted to be like, we need to avenge him, because that was like, they showed who they really saw as a leader at the end.
Yeah.
He was an abusive bastard is all he was to them, in my opinion. So they were like, he died. You were willing to set us free and let us go and live. Now I'll fight by you, because your morals align with the normal people, I guess. Like, that's like normal people morals is what it should be. You shouldn't be having your balls chopped off.
I'm pretty sure early on, one of the lines, I think Rob said or Tywin said or somebody said this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they said, what's more valuable, soldiers that are paid or soldiers that will fight with honor? You know what I'm saying?
And
like
soldiers that will fight with honor. Soldiers that are paid, what they get, like, you can always go find more pay.
Right.
If you find yourself in a bad situation, you could be like, well, I don't want to stay here and die. Fuck this. I'll go find the next leader that needs a mercenary.
I think it was Ned who might have actually said that.
It might have been Ned.
But yeah, like now Danny has 8,000 Unsullied who are crazy. They're trained from being like a baby. They're trained from the start, and they all are going to be her soldiers with honor, like with
not
loyalty.
Only that, but with her 3 dragons, not only 3 dragons that can cook fish or whatever they catch can kill somebody. Like,
they went around burning shit.
Yeah, like straight up.
Or we saw Drogon doing that.
Straight up burnt people and killed. Like, so now it's like these dragons. It's like they're not just. Well, yeah. So that they're not just a toy. They're not just like, oh look, it can cook its meat if I tell it to Dracarys, it'll cook its meat. It's like, nah, I can tell this one to go actually kill you, and it fucking will.
Right.
And efficiently, it did it. It was like, and he burnt to death.
That's the second person she said Dracarys to be killed. Remember, the first one was the Warlock when they were.
Oh yeah, so
she
it's
said
like
Dracarys.
Still so, and now they're man. If they grow again, I can't. I hope they grow more before the end of the season.
Well, we'll have to see. But with that being said, is there any final thoughts on the episode before we close out?
Nah, man. Just once again, appreciate all the love and support on the videos. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I have a Twitch. I do stream. It will be down in the description below. Click on that. I'll have my stream schedule inside the actual profile of my Twitch. But with that being said, once again, we appreciate you guys so much. Road to 1K on the way. Cameron, anything you want to say? I know you got a Twitch now.
Yeah, I do have a Twitch, Just Your Average Cam. The link will be in the description below. I play things like Elden Ring and whatnot, and we do have a gaming channel that will include funny moments from when we Twitch together, and you can check that out with the link in the description as well. Cam&Zay Games is what it's called if you're into that kind of stuff. But with that being said, again, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Just stay tuned for more if you're not already. Hit that bell notification to be notified the next time we upload a video. And also, you can check out our Patreon. Full-length reaction of this will be in the link in the description if you check in our Patreon. And then the full-length reaction to the next 3 episodes as well. With that being said, we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.